And we are live. Hey, hey, hey. How is it going today? Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, come on in. I'm going to start us off with a quick story. Okay? I'm going to tell you the story today of the first ever female CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Okay? Are you ready? Her name was Katherine Graham. And in 1972, she became the first president of the Washington Post, the parent company of what today is known as the Washington Post. Now, by so doing, she broke the barrier for all female CEOs. Isn't that fantastic? Leave something for me in the comment section if that excites you and if you know how huge an accomplishment that was. And that is only 1972. I want you to put in perspective that it's not too long ago. And if that is not interesting enough, it was not until 2009 that we had the first ever woman to woman CEO succession in a Fortune 500 company. Can you imagine? Just 2009. That one woman CEO took over from another woman CEO in a top organization. I'm saying this to say that women CEOs is still a rarity, right? The norm when you get into an organization, when you get into a corporation, is for you to see all the women in the general office as the clerical staff, right? Or at best in mid-career as supervisors or junior managers, right? All the corner rooms are usually occupied by men. I'm going to make it more interesting for you. Every time you start a discussion around women in corporate careers, do you know how almost always the conversation ends up? It always turns around to discuss why women are not succeeding in corporate organizations. So, there are many significant biases and significant barriers. A lot of them are systemic. A lot of them are are literally ceilings you need to cross. You cannot be too aggressive as a woman. Then you are the B word. You cannot be too nice as a woman. Then you're soft and indecisive. If you're a mother, you're not expected to succeed on your job as either a man would or a woman without kids. As if that was not interesting enough, the COVID-19 pandemic resulted in many, many more women leaving their offices and returning home, many more than men, because now kids can't go to school and they need to be homeschooled, they need to be taken care of now. All the daycares are closed. And this further hindered any progress that was already made by women in their professions. Let's not even include diversity as a factor here, because if you begin to add race, um, then it's even higher to succeed in a profession. Right? Hey, 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 come in here. Thank you so much. Thanks, Eva. Thank you. I'm so glad you made it. Get in, share, share, share. I like you all to get your the people on your page, the people in your network to tune into this live session. It promises to be a very good one. Click share, click like, and also let me know where you're watching me from. If you're joining me live, I'm looking to the side for your comments. Drop in an emoji for me. Drop in where you're watching me from. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay and let me know where you're watching from as well. Hey, 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 get in here. Thanks, ladies. I'm so glad you could make it. This is a special live session for corporate professional women who are high performers but have found that they've been overlooked, they've been undervalued, and they are ready to position themselves for executive leadership. So come on in. Quite a few women, like we all know, have pushed through the ranks. They've already attained mid-level career, so to say, but they are stuck. So currently what you find many women do is they settle. They settle for what is a semblance of success and growth, when in fact the opportunities are endless and there is so much frontier to conquer. So today we're discussing another interesting topic. For the last 3 weeks, this is the third week now, 2 previous weeks, and this week, I've been discussing very interesting topics on why you should position yourself for leadership. Why should you, as a woman, a professional woman, why should you, as a woman in corporate, why should you, as a career woman, decide, take a stand, and make a decision, a quality decision you're going to walk through to make yourself visible enough to be considered for executive leadership position. Week 1, we said, do it for the money, right? Week 2, we said, do it for the impact. Today, I have another topic for you. I'm asking, what is your purpose? And when I say, what is your purpose? Thanks, girl, I see you. Thanks for joining. And when I say, what is your purpose, I'm asking you, what will be your legacy? So if you're meeting me for the very first time, I welcome you. My name is Dr. Shade. I'm a certified leadership coach, and I help high-performing women who are in corporate worlds ditch the overwhelm and get recognized for the value they can bring to the table and get themselves on the decision-making table. Because I am a high-performance strategist. Okay? Are you excited already? Today we're discussing the issue of legacy. What will you leave behind? What will you be remembered by? What will your industry say that you contributed? So drop me that emoji or drop me the hashtag replay and let us go. Anybody has anything interesting you want to discuss with us about what you consider legacy in your organization? What have been some significant things that have happened in your industry, and who were the progenitors? Who originated those huge instances in your industry? More often than not, they are the men, right? So I'd like to know where you're joining me from. Go ahead and share this video and click the like or share button so that the people in your network can join in. Okay? So when I opened the session today, I opened it deliberately with the story of Katherine Graham. Why was she worthy of mention today? Because she shattered the glass ceiling. She went on to become the very first female CEO in an exclusive world. It's an exclusive world where Fortune 500 company CEOs gather. And for several years, she was the only woman in the room. Now, there had been, I believe, one other woman CEO in the 1800s before her, but it was in a company that was not considered top-notch. They weren't top players. So it more or less doesn't count. But among the companies that literally run the financial world of the entire world, she was number one. I'm saying this to say that something needs to change. I'm saying this to say that there are opportunities for you right now as a woman to help normalize leadership in corporate. Simply by becoming the best you can be, simply by rising to your top executive leadership position, you can begin to bring some form of normalization to seeing women as top leaders in top industries and top organizations. I want you to think about it. Legacy refers to something that is received from the past, right? Legacy is something that was handed down from one generation to another. It is literally something that other people did. It's not something that you did. So the people who created the parts that we're discussing today, the Katherine Grahams of the world who created this great legacy, are receiving the recognition they are receiving because of their deeds or action, simply by succeeding. Do you notice that what she did was rise to executive leadership? She became a CEO. Now, because she became a CEO, which was good for her and which is recorded as success for her, we're talking about her. Isn't that amazing? So your success the fact that you actually take steps to succeed can become something that makes you a legend. Is somebody listening to me here? So consider the concept of leaving a legacy. I believe that we all love the idea of being a trailblazer. I heard someone say something very interesting one day, and she was trying to describe um, the influence that one person can have on another. And here's how she said it. She said, "Who you are now is a direct result of everything that has ever happened to you, right? Everything you have ever done, and every person you have ever interacted with. It's a total package. Everyone you've ever met up to this point in your life. And the reason why that is such a powerful message is this, and the fact that the reality of it is even more powerful than the statement. Listen, it means that where you are today comes from those people in your past generation who influenced the people who influenced you. Is somebody following? So it's a ricochet kind of effect. So the people in your ancestors further down, or whoever you're relating with now, they didn't come up with the decisions or the personalities they present right now by themselves. They were influenced by the people before them, who were influenced by the people before them. So long after you're gone and forgotten, the things that you do and leave behind will continue to affect not just your immediate family, but the people they interact with. So I'm saying, while you take steps to achieve what might look to you like a normal career progression, what you're not realizing is that you're leaving a footprint, and it could be one that will influence several other generations down the line. Is that deep enough yet? Does somebody understand what I'm saying? What does that mean for you? Drop me a comment. I'm going to go back to the comment section to see if you have any comments for me that you would like me to read out. Thank you for joining. Anything in the comments, does that resonate with you? The ability to create a legacy just by succeeding is what we're talking about today. So as a woman in corporate, if you are still looking for a reason why you need to start now, a reason why you need to begin to position yourself for executive leadership, here is another one. This is the third reason I'm giving you. The first one, I said, do it for the money. If money was not good enough, do it for the impact. Today, I want you to do it for the legacy. Because as a leader in your industry, you have an opportunity to leave a legacy. Just by taking regular daily steps to grow yourself and become a leader, you are creating a legacy. You will have the ability, when you take steps to grow yourself, you will have the ability to normalize female corporate leadership in your industry. It will no longer be a strange thing, because when a young woman now comes into organization to start her career, she's seen women. Yes, there'll still be some in the clerical office who are doing the menial tasks and carrying the files around and being assistants and secretaries and all the regular duties you see women do, which are important. But we need to begin to create an imagery, a representation for women to walk into an organization and see women at the top as well, and recognize that it is possible for women to, it's actually desirable and normal for women to aspire for those types of positions as well. And so sometimes, without talking to people, you are mentoring them. Sometimes without even knowing it, you are changing the perception of the people around you. It will give you a huge opportunity to mentor young women who might just need a little bit of motivation. Motivation which, just by seeing that you have overcome that barrier, might be all that they need. Or now you're in a position where they can walk up to you and say, hey, I'm struggling with the possibility of where this career can take me. Can you show me? But how can you guide others if you won't make the move for yourself? How will you become the go-to person if you are not yourself on top or on the rise to becoming successful? So think about it. If you will not do it for the money, do it for the impact you can have on the organization, on the people around you, on your immediate family. If all these are not good enough, then do it for the legacy you can create for the future, for the generation yet unborn. Do it for the future generation who will never know what they can become unless you go ahead and do it so they can see it. Do it because representation matters. When I say do it for the legacy, I am saying position yourself for executive leadership because it might just be the reason why another young woman, another young girl somewhere pushes a little bit further to succeed because they see you there. Can you imagine the feeling? Can you imagine how gratifying that is? That when you put in the work and when you rise, you will never know who is watching and who, as a result of you succeeding, will go ahead to succeed. That, my friends, is leadership. So if you're already in your mid-career and you are just stuck there because you think this is good enough, I should be thankful I have this job, I should be thankful that I got to this position. After all, there are many people who will never get to where I am. And you're right. But there is so much more you can be doing. There is so much more that you can do in terms of being a change, being a trailblazer, being a reason why somebody else will succeed. So if you need that extra push, if you need a strategy, a personalized roadmap for how you will position yourself, for the things you need to begin to do so that you are recognized for the things that you can bring to the table, so that your organization stops ignoring and overlooking and undervaluing you, I have the exact right program for you. And I'll leave a link either in the description box or in the comment section, depending on where you're watching me from, how you can book a chat with me. You will leave that chat, that call with clarity on where you are, where you want to be, and what you need to do in between. I hope you will take me up on this challenge. Book a call with me and let us see where you need to begin to make that change today. My accelerator program is based on a LEAD framework. LEAD is leverage, equip, accentuate, and disrupt. There, we will walk you through the series and stages of leveraging your strengths and becoming a leader in your industry and in your organization. We will work on your leadership skills, communication skills, branding. We'll craft a roadmap, a personalized roadmap for you to rise to the top of your career, because what works for one person and the specific circumstances will differ from what works for the next. But ultimately, what we want to help you do is rise to the top of your career and get your voice heard. You deserve a seat at the table. You deserve to create a legacy for the future generation. You are not any less qualified than the people who are right there now. And you can begin to bring value to the bottom line of your organization and get recognized. I am rooting for you. I can hardly wait to see you next week. You take care.